Picture this, a single campaign that can advertise your products across all of Google's marketing channels. We're talking search, display, Gmail, and YouTube. And the crazy thing is, it's automated. You give Google your images, copy, products, videos, and Google will automatically distribute them across its entire network. I'm Jackson Blackledge with my business partner and head media buyer, Filippo Caroli. In this video, we're going to walk you through setting up a Performance Max campaign that generates consistent new customers for your e-commerce brand without relying on branded campaigns or social media traffic. We've used this strategy to scale our 7 to 8 figure clients such as Ovi, Tabs, Wine by Lamborghini, Crafted, and we teach these exact strategies within Davey Fogarty's exclusive group of 7+ figure brands. Now let's dive into setting up your Performance Max campaign.
Let's start from the basics. So we are on our Google Ads account, click on under campaigns plus the campaign, we select sales goal. Then you want to make sure you select the proper goals here. So purchases in this case, continue, and then you have the possibility to select your Performance Max campaign. Very important thing, you're gonna link your Google Merchant Center. You select your Merchant Center account and then you continue.
So the main point to remember is that Performance Max for e-commerce is basically shopping, and shopping heavily relies on Google Merchant Center and product feed optimization. So Google suggests keeping things consolidated, and we've tested this for hundreds of brands. Instead of creating multiple campaigns, you want to divide your assets into asset groups that match your product categories. You really want to consider dividing campaigns if you have specific business needs, such as spend or ROAS or CPA targets, for example.
Let's move on to the next step. We start from bidding. Here you can choose between two goals, either focusing on conversion, so conversion number and eventually cost per acquired user, or you want to focus on revenue. Most e-commerces are focusing on ROAS, but some businesses are focusing on customer acquisition cost. So what we recommend is running on just maximize, so either maximize conversions or maximize conversion value for a couple of weeks before turning those targets on. Then moving on, location, that's pretty easy. You just select your country, the languages that the users are gonna be speaking, and then you get to the point in which you can generate your assets. So you actually create your first asset group. Google now has this AI assisted workflow, so you can input your final URL, a couple of extra inputs, so what are your products about, even a short description, and then you can generate the assets. In your asset group creation, the first thing is your shopping ads. So what you want to do first is to select your shopping listings correctly. So at the very beginning, you have these listing groups. By default, you have all products. You can edit that and you can customize. You can either use all products, so you could have a catch-all asset group, or you can select a section of products. You can segment in different ways, by product type or custom label. You select your products and then you move on with all the text, creatives, and videos that are relevant for that specific selection of products. So basically, when it comes to assets, you can see here, writing headlines, description, images. After you launch your asset group, then Google can even create videos based on those images mainly. Not the best quality videos so far, so better to upload your own. So you can check what Google was able to do and the images that he suggested. It's gonna even show you these are generated. This instead is an image you used recently, so you can leverage that. And then of course you can just add or edit anything that you want. So after dealing with the assets, you can then add signals to your asset group. So signals are basically some inputs you can give in regards to the audience that you have in mind for this particular asset group. Obviously we have different audience possibilities, so we can go from very broad audiences like affinity audiences down to your actual email list. In our opinion, the best practice is to stick to your first party data, so you can literally go in your browse, you have your customer list, so these are your emails, and then you have your website visitors. So that's the most important, because you're really giving to Google the right picture of your current clients. And then search themes are also very important. So here you're gonna give Google a list of your most successful keywords for this particular category. Here you see you have up to 25, and you can easily publish the campaigns. Go next, you select your budget. The important thing you consider about your budget is that you want to allow several conversions per day. Let's say it's gonna be around $100. You want your campaign to have a multiple of it as a budget. So then we select, let's go with the suggestion, and we are just ready to publish the campaigns.
Performance Max for e-commerce relies heavily on your product feed. During asset group creation, you could even skip all text and image assets and provide only your product feed. This way, you'll actually create a so-called feed-only asset group. It is worth noting that they don't guarantee a shopping-only Performance Max campaign. Your ads can still serve on other networks. You can actually apply a feature called content content suitability controls. Let's look into how you can do this.
You cannot really avoid completely that Google will show on display or discovery networks with your PMax campaign, not even if you take this feed-only approach, because Google can still use images in your feed, for example. So we've seen several cases with shopping-only PMax campaigns actually serving even a lot. That's how you can guide Google and kind of limit this to happen. Yeah, so above all, you want to make sure that when you serve in the display or discover network, you're serving on websites that are high quality. So what you want to do is go into tools, and then you have content suitability. So by default, you have just the inventory type. Let's say if you go for the standard inventory or the limited one, you're going to get a few of the placements excluded. But then you can go advanced settings, and you have very interesting stuff here. You can exclude sensitive content, as you can see. So your ads will not appear on this type of content. You want to go here, then you have some types. So for example, live streaming and park domains for search, we don't want to appear there. We have content themes, so that's very interesting. You can exclude the themes like, games, for example, or politics, religion. And then very interesting, you can exclude content keywords. So you will exclude, basically, if I type some keywords, you're going to exclude websites or videos. And then you have even direct placement exclusion. Here you can exclude app categories, you can exclude direct websites, a list of websites, or YouTube channels. It applies to PMax 100%. So make sure you leverage the content suitability tool in order to improve your serving on display, YouTube, Discover for both your PMax campaigns, but also other separate campaigns.
Now I actually want to talk to you about some recent Performance Max updates Google announced. Performance Max will include customer retention settings alongside customer acquisition. They use these settings wisely because remember that a new user can still be someone searching for your brand. Brand exclusion in Performance Max is crucial. This new customer acquisition feature can sometimes be faulty.
Alright, so let's check this particular case. So we have here a PMax campaign that is pretty constant in time, and you can see that there are not many changes. If we go in the campaign setting themselves, so let me show you. In the settings of the campaign, you have the customer acquisition setting that is actually pretty aggressively saying to Google only bid for new customers. So they are providing actually their customer emails for Google here. They have customer emails synchronized with Klaviyo. So they have all the customers that ever made a purchase in their website. They are ending up in this list. They told Google in the right way who their customers are. And in the campaign, they are saying to Google, please bring me with this campaign only new customers. Let's go and check if this is really happening. So that's something a bit hidden in the platform. Not many know about it. Segment, conversions, and you have new versus returning customers. So let's give it a look. And as you can see, there's still a big chunk. So over 10% definitely returning customer purchases in this campaign. This feature is actually well known for not being, let's say, fault proof. So actually, better way to check on your campaign's performances. We are in Shopify Analytics, marketing campaigns. So this is the PMax campaign that is spending the most, and you can see a clear report from Shopify about new customers versus returning customers. So in these particular campaigns, we are not using this specific setting, so we are bidding equally for new or existing customers, but just naturally by excluding the brand, we get the vast majority of customers that are actually new customers. So this campaign here, and if you look at the customer acquisition settings, is untouched. We are bidding equally for all the customers, just we are making sure that we are not serving on people searching for our brand.
So our take is that the acquisitions retention features by Google are somewhat of a smokescreen. It can also steer advertisers away from separating their branded and non-branded campaigns. And this leads me to my next point. How do you make sure your ads are performing well? Because Google can provide valuable insights into asset performance, including asset details, combinations, and you can access these directly in Google Ads.
Let's check on your asset group performances and let's see what you can see right now. Here I'm within PMax campaign. Let's go to asset groups. The first thing to keep in mind is that you have a different visual for that as well. So here is a summary. You can go to table and you will see the performances for each asset group. Then if we come back to the summary tab, you can view details in terms of performances. In this case, we're not talking performances like cost, conversion, stuff like that, but like these are Google evaluation of your assets. First tab is the most important. So you have your assets and you can see for each a label. That's everything you get to see right right now, and then you have best or low. So you can review that, and obviously you can edit the ones that are performing the worst. What you got as well, that's pretty interesting, is your combinations. So here you can see some results. Of course, we know that PMax is serving across multiple networks, so you can see some combination that's served on search, and then you can even see some combination that's served either on Discover or even YouTube. And then you have also your listing groups. In this case, you see individual performances for specific products.
All right, so lastly, we actually want to discuss another feature that Google has added to PMax, and that is final URL expansion that you can obviously run tests on. This feature can significantly improve your campaign's reach and effectiveness.
All right, so about the final URL expansion, you can find it in the campaign settings, automatically created assets, and then you have to turn on text assets here to then have access to the final URL expansion tool. So this tool is kind of enabling your dynamic search ads within your PMax campaign, so Google can serve on search towards landing pages that are not necessarily included in your asset group. So what you can do here, for example, very cool, you can see that on the screen, can exclude some URLs even with simple rules. Another thing to note here is that we give Google more space to serve through the website, but can we get any reporting about it? In Google Ads, you surely have a report called landing pages, so you can see across your account where your campaigns are leading. But when it comes to PMax, Google is starting to hide more and more the landing pages that involve your PMax campaign. So here you can see we have the filter for that campaign. We don't see anything. So you can use GA4 to see more details. So here we are in the report under engagement, landing page. We used as a second dimension the campaign ID. So here we are filtering for that campaign ID. And now we see all the landing pages for that specific campaign in the last 28 days.
All right, guys, so that's the exact blueprint for setting up your own Performance Max campaigns. But the truth is that Performance Max is just one of the many Google campaign types you need to know how to run to maximize your Google Ads performance. You still have to learn how to set up other types of ads. If you want to learn the new way of setting up Google Ads for 2024, click on the video over here. If you're looking for an agency to manage your Google ad account, feel free to book in a call with us. The link will be below. We will see you on the next one.